Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Scrolling Around. As you can see, we have a very special guest today, which means it's going to be a very special episode. So don't go anywhere. Scrolling Around starts right now. As you all can see, we have John Oetjens here with us today. John, tell us what you've been doing since you've left. He's the previous Scrolling Around and Score News host.
What I've been doing since I left?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to know. That's boring.
I sure do.
Well, my wife and I retired. We moved up to the Tawas area, so we're doing a lot of fixing up of a family place that we purchased up there. And I've been doing a little substitute teaching in the Tawas and Oscoda school districts, and
Still
a little
involved
bit of
in
work.
school?
Yeah, really. I'm seeing the other side of the fence
Yeah.
from what you're seeing right now and what I saw before.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basically what I've been up to.
No TV? No anything
Well,
in the
you know,
industry?
they do have a small community television operation in Oscoda,
Awesome.
which is nothing like this. But don't tell them I told you. So I
They won't see this.
So I have had my hand on a camera once or twice.
Okay.
But no, I haven't gotten out of it entirely. I could never just get out of it entirely.
Oh yeah. So now, do you miss OCTV? We're in the new studio actually filming right now. Your first time being in the new
That's
studio.
right.
What do you think?
Because I had a great relationship with everybody here.
Yeah.
And I do miss it. What I don't miss is a long drive down that I had to make before.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any younger. That's the thing.
That's currently what I'm going through. An hour drive, so I mean, we must really love being here. Right?
Well, that's true. That's true. Hey, but it's a great experience for somebody like you getting into the business and stuff.
It's a great place to work.
And a great community to work in.
Exactly.
Great people here.
Yeah, I'm finally starting to recognize faces and know names. So that's
Hard.
Yeah, it took me about a year, but
Yeah.
it's okay. So now, what was your favorite segment from either shows that you hosted, Scrolling Around or School News? What was your fondest memory?
You know, I've got a lot of fond memories, Alexis. I think the fondest memory I have was the show that evolved from, remember on Netflix they had that movie, that series, 13 Reasons?
I do. I
About
watched the
suicide?
entire thing. I cried, actually,
Yeah.
on the last one.
It caused a lot of criticism, some controversy, why they should be
A lot
making a
of
big deal out of
controversy.
something like this.
Yeah.
But the kids in the Oxford High School got together and put together a program called 13 Reasons Why Not.
Okay.
Because the Oxford School District, like many school districts, is not foreign to suicide.
Right.
They lost a couple of kids not all that long ago, and it was something that really concerned them. And they did such a wonderful job that it actually brought the major networks to town to record a news conference involving that. I was so proud of those guys, and I was so proud to be able to be a part of doing a program that had something to do with that.
Absolutely. So that's your fondest memory. And actually, I faintly remember seeing something about that, and I was trying to do a story with it, but obviously we can tell who's a professional here because I wasn't able to get my hands on that, but you were. So we're going to take a look at that episode right now. Take a look.
The Alveus anti-bullying program has always been a big part of our schools. What with all the social media platforms, this is a big deal. About 4 years ago, forms of bullying pushed one of our teenagers to the brink. She took her own life. Now along comes Netflix and 13 Reasons Why. It's a series about a teen who commits suicide, but not before she makes tapes telling who and what caused her to do it. It pressed some sensitive buttons in our community and our school. Here's Katie Getz.
When I got back from spring break, all the kids came up and said, "Oh my God, have you seen this show? Have you seen this show? Have you seen this show?" And I was like, nope, don't know anything about it. Then Miss Fine came and approached and said, "I think we should have our Bully Buster kids do something about this show." And so then I started to watch it. Absolutely as a teacher and as a parent, I get so angry with the show because I know as a teacher that this stuff is going on, and sometimes we don't know and we don't see, and we're so busy trying to do everything that, you know, I now feel guilty. And so I thought this was an excellent way to show that we do care, and our goal was, if we can reach one kid and prevent one kid from completing suicide, then our mission has been accomplished, and I think this has exceeded that. 13 Reasons Why has been very hard for me to watch as a parent, because I don't ever want to see my child go through that, and as a teacher I spend just as much time with these kids as I do my own children, that I don't want to see them go through this either. So it was very hard for me to watch, and you know, I love these kids just as they're my own, and I would never want anything to happen. So I'm so happy that Miss Fine had come up with a different avenue and a way. I want students to understand that there is hope. Hope is out there. It might be dark right now, but there is always going to be someone there to help you through those times. And if we could teach kids about hope, I think that we've accomplished our job.
Pam Fine is our head counselor and dean of discipline in the high school. She doesn't like to be photographed, so while she tells us the story, we're going to background the news conference that took place as the program evolves. This is Pam's story.
At the beginning of April, I had some people contacting me, like parents and some community people and some other districts contacting me asking for my thoughts on 13 Reasons Why and how they should talk to their kids and how we should address it. And I didn't know about the show, so I decided I needed to educate myself on what the show was. So I went home and I watched the entire Netflix series. And while I was watching it, there were a lot of things that resonated with me as far as from a mental health standpoint and from a suicide prevention standpoint. There were things that reminded me of Megan Abbott's story, and there were no scenarios that were given that we haven't dealt with in my 6 years here, aside from the car accident. It was very accurate as far as the situations that high school kids go under. It was very accurate in its depiction of, you know, what happens at parties and, you know, boys exaggerating about what they've done with girls and all of those things that we deal with pretty regularly. So I didn't like the show as far as, I mean, it was very good. It was very well produced and it was very entertaining, and, you know, I got all involved into it up in 4 a.m. watching it, like everyone. It's incredibly riveting television. The problem is that I was watching it, they had aspects of the show that I felt like promoted contagion. And there's some research on what promotes copycat suicides. And one of them is graphically showing the actual suicide, which this show does. There's also a glorification aspect. There's the revenge aspect. There's she's blaming people for her death. The voice from beyond type thing. All of those messages bothered me. It bothered me that the entire title probably bothered me the most, that there are enough reasons why, that there are X amount of reasons why you kill yourself. So it was bothering me. I was thinking about how can we start communication with our kids. In the meantime, Christy DeSano, our sign language teacher, she was becoming concerned. She had watched the series. She heard conversations among kids in her class. They were all talking about it. We had students who were live streaming it and watching it in the cafeteria during lunch. And we weren't in those conversations. The adults weren't talking about it with them. They weren't the kids weren't coming to us and saying, hey, let's discuss 13 Reasons Why and suicide. So some of the kids were saying things like, I have more than 13 reasons, and my life's worse than Hannah Baker's. Those weren't conversations that made us feel comforted at all. So Christy came up to me. I walked in one morning and she came up and she's like, Pam, what are we going to do about 13 Reasons Why? We've got to do something about 13 Reasons Why. And like I said, okay. And then it was just like, what if? And that was it. Like, it came out of my mouth right then. She looked at me. She's like, yes. I'm like, right. And just seemed like a good idea.
Pam Fine knew that this had to be done just right. That's when media teacher Chaz Millard became involved.
And we ran and got Chaz Millard and asked him if he could create the sound of a tape recorder just like the show. And then from that point on, he's been dragged into this. And I said, this isn't going to be any work for you, Chaz. Like, I can record the kids. I just need the sound of a tape recorder. That's all I need. He is now giving hours every day to help. So we went through all the channels. We went through Mr. Dunkley and the APs. And then we called Mr. Throne. Katie Getz and I called Mr. Throne. And then we talked to Denise Sweet. And so once we got approval from everyone, then Katie has a first hour leadership class that does Bully Busters, and they do the bully prevention program over at the middle school. So I write the lessons, they go teach it. So I have access to Katie's class, and I know that these are kids who are passionate about change. So I thought I'll pitch it to them. And so I went in and I said, hey, I have an idea, tell me what you think. And the kids immediately were like, yes, yes, yes. And I said, okay, well, it'd have to be secret. You have to keep it secret in this class. And they were like, okay. And I said, if you tell anyone, it's going to be ruined. And they kept it secret for like 2 weeks. They didn't tell, I don't think anyone knew that this was coming. And so I said, okay, so you guys, and I'm just pitching it out to the whole room, there's like 36 kids. You guys, if you want to do a tape, then write your name down, a little bit about your story, and just leave it up here. And we only had like 4 or 5, but I was like, they'll come forward eventually, you know. And so we decided to go ahead with it, and our plan is to tell no one. Todd sent out an email, confidential email to the staff on Friday, said this is the explanation, explained it all, it's going to start Monday morning. And I went to the class and said, who will go first? And Riley Junty raised her hand. She goes, I'll do it. And I said, are you sure? Because let me tell you, the first person is by far the riskiest. I said, I have no idea how social media is going to respond. I have no idea how the kids are going to respond. I have no idea how the parents are going to respond. I think it'll go well. I said, but there's no protection. Like, once it's out to 1,800 kids, there's no protecting you. And she's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. And she was mature, and she's confident, and she's on a mission to prevent suicide. So I said, okay, and I called her dad. We had extensive conversation about, look, this could end up being on YouTube, this could end up going, and I didn't think it would go to this level, I really didn't. But I knew that there could be media attached to it, and he was like, that's fine. So I said to Riley, come on up, and she goes, okay, well, I wrote it down on my cell phone, and the tape that everyone heard was Riley's tape, word for word. It was just brilliant, and it was beautifully written, and she had the text messages where she had the text messages from her ex that matched up what had happened. And so we took out any identifying information, and then when it got to the part where she thanked the person, she said, I thank Elise Godfrey. And she said what was interesting, Riley said what's interesting is, she and Elise it's not like her best friend for her entire life. She goes, she's just someone who's always been kind to me, and when I was having a hard time, she said she's gonna be totally surprised that I named her. And I said, that's perfect. So she was starting on a Monday, and I was worried all weekend about her, and I was texting her on Sunday, and I'm like, are you okay? You sure you want to do this? And she's like, yep, I'm good. And so we decided to build up social media because I was worried about her. So I had it built up where at least when she was done on Monday morning, there would be at least 36 kids in the class. Like, make sure you tweet out Riley. Wait, this is great. Way to go, Riley. So brave. And then we got Kate Abdu, who is a Fox Sports reporter. She has like 135,000 followers on Twitter. She was already set up ahead of time. She had listened to Riley's tape, and she was ready with her tweet. So she tweeted out Riley on Monday morning.
Principal Todd Dunkley was at the news conference. He outlined the procedure.
There are stories being submitted. We wanted to make sure, first and foremost, that the stories were a place where the student was healthy and safe enough to be able to share that story. We have determined, through the help of counseling and this fine, that there was a couple stories that we did not feel safe enough for that person yet, and their own well-being and where they're at in their journey of healing. So we had to go beyond that. We also wanted to make sure it was varied enough, so we covered both a variety of whether genders, different backgrounds, different age groups, and that the stories were varied enough. So there's going to be, and there are already, more than 13 submitted. And we go through that. Parents are contacted ahead of time. more than once on many occasions to make sure, and all the way up to the point it's delivered, that there is a confident level of comfort there, as well as the person that is getting the notoriety of being the reason why not, that they're aware ahead of time. So we want to make sure that we don't get surprises of the wrong kind.
So what happened?
Actually, like, it went much better than I anticipated. There were parents who got the wrong message because we hadn't told parents, and we did that on purpose, and that made some people upset, which I understand. But this is about suicide prevention, and this is about saving lives, and this program has the components in it. Like, every single day at the end, each student gives an anti-suicide message. We have 800 numbers for Common Ground up. We have awareness boards in the hallways on mental health. We have teachers having conversations with their kids during the day, every day, for 13 days. The room is silent. And then we have conversation, and the number one way to prevent suicide is to talk about it. So every aspect of this program is not promoting contagion. It's the exact opposite of what the show is doing. It's saying there is no reason why. There's not one reason why. There's not 13 reasons why. There's not a million reasons why. There are no reasons why. And suicide is never the answer. Talk to an adult at home or talk to an adult at school. Number one way to prevent suicide is to talk about suicide. We list facts about suicide. So we had 7 trained counselors in the front office alone that day. Every day we have 7 trained counselors up here, and there really wasn't this huge there wasn't people in trauma throughout the hallways, and then it was just this, wow, what's going on. It was that shock factor that we wanted, because everyone was talking. By 8:30 Monday morning, everyone was talking. The kids were talking, the teachers were talking, the community was talking, the parents were talking. Some of them were yelling at me, but everyone was talking. And they were talking about suicide prevention. They were talking about, how do you talk to your kids about 13 reasons why? Talk to them about what's going on at school. Talking to them about 13 reasons why not. And every day, parents can be having a conversation with their student when they come home. What was the story today? What was it about? And then who did they thank? And what was their reason why not? So every day now, parents for 13 days at least don't have to hear, how was your day? Fine. What happened? Nothing. It's an opportunity for all of us to get in. Now when kids come in, I'll say, hey, what do you think about the project? And it's a conversation starter with any kid in the school. And they'll, I love it. Why? Can you relate to any of the stories? Which story have you related to the most? Kids will talk and talk and talk now. And when I have a conversation starter with anyone. So the first day was chaotic. There were a lot of misperceptions being thrown out on Facebook, and that we were playing the series. We were showing the show in class. Did you hear Oxford High School is airing 13 Reasons Why? And did you hear that they played the tape, but they used a different name? And it was just, and then so panic ensued. And then once everyone realized, we sent out an email blast explaining it later on in the day. And then by the next day, the second day, Jordan Jaden went, and everyone knew it was coming, and everyone was calm. But we felt and I still believe to this day, it was a risk, but it paid off. And if we would have sent everything out and said, this is what we're going to be doing, please talk to your child about, then it would have been parents already saying, well, wait, and having concerns, which is fine. But more importantly, it would have been parents talking to their kids before they got to school, and kids sending things that, do you hear what they're doing tomorrow? It's stupid. Did you hear? This is stupid. And so we took all of that away and just had kids being like, what are they doing? What has happened right now? So it worked. And we've had amazing things happen out of it. We've just had amazing things happen between kids and for kids and the social media support. We've had 7 kids go now, and every night I check in with the whole group. We have a group chat, and I'm like, any negative comments? To this day, there has not been one negative post about one kid who's gone. There's been a lot about me. They come at me. I've had some kids coming at me pretty hard, and like I said, we had some parents who were upset with me and all that. That's fine. You can come at me, you can come at administration, you can come at Oxford schools, but leave the kids alone. They're brave, leave them alone.
That was such a cool opportunity for the students to be publicized like that and to share something that's really important and of an important nature like that. And it was cool that you were there.
And that they had national exposure.
And that they had national exposure, exactly. Do you remember how the students came up with the idea to do 13 Reasons Why? Obviously, it's...
Not specifically, but I know that it had to do with consulting with their counselors.
Okay.
And because the counselors provided the proper guidance in handling a sensitive subject like this. And quite honestly, there was some hesitancy with the principal and the administration at that time whether or not they should let something like this get so big.
Right. Well,
But
it was a good thing that they did.
I agree
Yeah.
with you wholeheartedly. They did such a wonderful job, and I was so proud.
Absolutely. Well, I certainly hope that they continue this in the future and keep this 13 Reasons Why not going, because, you know, as everyone knows, especially if you watch Netflix, there's a new season coming out pretty soon, I believe within the summer. So we're going to need some reasons why
It may
not.
be
for
out
students
now,
who are in
actually,
first
yeah,
grade.
right.
It may be. I have to check, but yeah. That was a really great job that those students did. And moving into our first segment, other than your segment for this episode of Scrolling Around, we're going to head on down to the Pollyant Trail for National Trail Day and their opening day. Take a look. Thanks, Bill. As you can see behind me, today is a big day for the Pollyant Trail. It's National Trail Day, and a lot of people came out for the 5K walk. We're going to go on the trail a little bit, talk to some of the participants, and see what's going on. So, Lydia, I see you have your puppy here, and today's a big day. For what reason?
Big day for us in Oxford. I am the president of the Oxford Women's Club, and our main goal is to raise funds for Oxford students for college. And we also do tech. And we also have a fundraiser in October. It is called the Fashion Show, Oxford Women's Club Fashion Show. But today is our 5K walk. So we're really excited. First one ever. So we're very excited about it.
Now, when you said that these go towards students' college fund, is this a part of something like OSEC, or is this a completely separate?
Slightly different, but we would fund them as well. So we meet with their leaders, their what do I want to say, principals, and we set it all up so that they have to write an essay, and they submit it to us. We review them, and we give as many scholarships as we can.
And this is the first time this is happening. So how did you come about this idea?
Just had a dream. And my friend is the manager for the Pollyant Trail. So I said to her, hey, I had this brainstorm. Let's do a walk. So like I said, the main thing we do is the fashion show. That's all we've ever had as a fundraiser. But now we have our walk. So I'm really excited about it. And I love fitness, so I'm really into getting everybody out here. Today's a pretty good turnout for our first time.
Awesome.
We're really excited.
We are going to turn our attention over here. I think it's about to start.
Yes.
Yay! I want to thank everybody for coming out to the first 5K Oxford Women's Club Pollyant Trail walk. Just thanks for coming out. It's going to be a gorgeous day today. We're going to head over our fabulous bridge here, and we're going to go out 1.55 miles to the turnaround. We have a lovely lady sitting there. She'll guide you. She's got waters. It'll be a good time. And then come on back, and we got our free snacks for everybody. We got a massage chair warming up over there, and we have Steve from Main Street Bikes doing some e-bike demos. So come on back and have a great time. So we're going to get started. So let's go! Yay! All right, come on. All right.
Okay, so I am here with the head person in charge, Linda.
Manager, yeah, hi.
So now today is a pretty big event. It's the first big event of its kind. Tell us about it.
What we're doing is we have teamed up, the Pollyant Trail has teamed up with the Oxford Women's Club. They are doing some fundraising for their scholarship program. So each year, Oxford high school seniors are awarded scholarships based on essays and their criteria. Those scholarships can be used for trade schools, not just four-year universities. So if you don't want to go to a four-year university, you're still eligible for these scholarships. We are splitting the proceeds. Half will go to the scholarship fund and half goes to the Pollyant Trail. So we have some of our fabulous sponsors out here. We have Main Street Bikes. HealthQuest just took off over the bridge. We have Rachel, who is our massage therapist. She's coming coming out and she's doing some free massages. We have free snacks, free treats. It's just going to be a wonderful 5K walk. And it's just like a neighborhood gathering walk. It's not a competition. It's just bring the dogs, bring the kids, have some snacks. It's great. Yeah.
And on a Saturday morning at that.
Saturday morning at 9:30. You can't beat it. And Evergreen's Coffee Shop donated free coffee. So yeah, so we're doing just great. So yeah.
Now this is the first, as we keep saying. Is there a second in the future?
We're hoping to do the second. Today is National Trail Day, so we're hoping to repeat it next year on National Trail Day. So yeah.
So we hope to be out here next year on National Trail Day for an annual thing every single year.
Perfect. That sounds lovely. We'd love to have you out.
What do you think about the walk?
I loved it. It was great.
Did you do the entire 5K?
We did. Yeah. Yeah, we did the 5K. So.
Now tell us where it started from to where it ended and you turned around.
It started at Evergreen and it went a mile and a half that way roughly. So down by the gravel pit. So.
And what did you think about the walk? Was it a little difficult? It's a beautiful day.
No, we hike every day, usually like 5 to 6 miles. He's much more, but yeah, so we're used to this. So we just thought we'd get out as a group with our Health Quest team and do a walk today. So.
And do you typically do your hikes on the Pollyant Trail?
No, we're really big more into trails in the backwoods, so like Bald Mountain and stuff like that. We do Pollyant occasionally, but yeah, mainly back in the rural, kind of more hidden trails, so yeah. Yeah.
Now this is the first of its kind, but it's talk of it possibly being an annual thing for the next few years to come. Do you think that you guys will be out for it next year?
Oh yeah. Yep, we would definitely return. Yep. It was fun.
With your puppy here?
Yep, this is Motley. Yep, he's a little skittish, so he's learning to kind of get used to people and bikes and all that fun stuff. So, yeah.
Puerto Rico. We rescued him from Puerto Rico with the Canine Stray Rescue in Oxford. So.
And is this his first walk? His first walk on the Pollyant Trail, nonetheless?
Yes, it is. Yep. He's walked with us on other trails, but this is the first time on the Pollyant. So, yep.
And tell us his name one more time.
This is Motley.
Motley. Good job, Motley. Hi, cutie. Nope, not quite, but you guys did amazing. And you're almost done. Just right over that hill is a bunch of refreshments. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
So we are here with some finalists here. You guys already finished the race, and I see a big cookie over here. What did you guys think about it?
What do you think, Kendrick?
It was amazing, and I had a lot of fun.
What about that cookie? That looks pretty tasty.
It's good, too.
Yeah. And what did you think about it?
It was fun. I had to run a little more than I chose, but he was on the bike, so I had to keep up.
And did you guys go the entire 5K?
We did. He didn't want to quit.
Good job. You really pushed through, huh?
Yeah, I did because I want to be the first ones to win.
And were you?
Yeah.
Congratulations. You were going pretty fast then. Did you guys come out right at 9 or?
Yep, we were here at 9 o'clock and then started with everybody right here.
How did you find out about this 5K walk today?
A friend of mine is part of the Women's Club, and I saw it on Facebook.
So a lot of good advertising?
Yes, like it on Facebook. I'm always looking there for stuff. So.
Oh, yeah. Now, are you usually participating in all of the Pollyant Trail stuff or the Women's Club activities?
I haven't been recently till now, but I should be more. If I get a bike, then we'll be coming out more probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to do it on a bike, huh?
Right. I'm not a runner, except for today.
Well, hey, you did great. You just ran a 5K, so that's something to brag about.
Right. Yeah.
Now, this is a first-time activity for the Pollyant Trail, but it possibly may be coming every year, an annual thing. Would you come out again, even without a bike?
Oh, yes. Please do. Do it more. I'll be out. I'll bring him.
What about you? Do you think that you'd come out for it again?
Yep.
Only if they have cookies, though, right?
Yeah, because I love cookies.
Well,
Do you
thanks for
remember what it was for? Do you remember what you did this for? Do you remember?
To raise money for the kids to go to school and for a workout.
Yes, good job. And what school do you go to?
Elementary.
Well, we have a long way to go, but I think college is probably in your future, right?
Yep.
So pretty soon, someone's going to be running or riding a bike for this walk for you.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for talking to us, guys.
Thank you.
Get out before the rain hits.
Right.
Back to you, Belle.
That was part 1 of episode 103 with our very special guest, John Oetjens. Next week, we still have the Kingsbury Country Day Fair as well as the Microsoft coding class at OES, so stay tuned.